In today's video, let's discuss how to allocate capital in 2026. So, I carefully review my comments and I notice a lot of people repeatedly asking me the same questions. And they're very valid questions. For example, will the stock market continue going up in 2026? Are gold and silver already too overvalued? Did we miss the opportunity window? So today I want to walk you through how I'm approaching investing in 2026 and, more importantly, the reasoning behind it. Listen, the simple truth is that the Federal Reserve is making money less expensive, not more expensive. And when they make money less expensive, asset prices generally tend to go up. We're talking about stocks, gold, silver, and tangible assets overall. So, that is not speculation. That's how the system is intentionally structured to function. Now, before we go any further, we have to address the concept of liquidity. So, I want to break this down for you in clear, everyday language. Liquidity essentially means how much money is available in the system and how easily accessible it is. So when you have a scenario where liquidity is restricted, then borrowing is going to become more expensive, lending is going to slow significantly, and asset prices are going to struggle to perform. But on the flip side, when you have a situation where liquidity is abundant, then borrowing is going to be cheap. Money circulates much more freely, and asset prices are going to trend higher. So I'll explain it to you like this. Think of liquidity like water in a pool. When the water level rises, everything floats upward, and when the water drains out, everything sinks lower. Right now, the water level is rising once again. This is where a lot of people get confused. They're going to look around and say, rightfully so, that prices are too high. People feel financially pressured, especially economically, and the economy doesn't feel strong. But I want to tell you that this is not how the financial markets operate. What's more important is access to capital. When liquidity increases, money is not going to remain idle. It's going to circulate, it's going to seek a return, and it's going to flow into stocks, ETFs, gold, silver, precious metals, and anything perceived as a store of value. This is why markets can continue moving higher when liquidity is ample, even if the economy is not thriving. Now I want to emphasize the situation around interest rates. The Federal Reserve controls short-term interest rates. When the Federal Reserve raises rates, borrowing becomes more costly. And when the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, borrowing becomes cheaper. Cheaper money fundamentally alters behavior across the entire economy. Companies will refinance obligations. Investors will take on greater risk. Cash will earn less. It will generate lower yields. So people will actively search for returns elsewhere, and valuations will rise because future profits are discounted at lower rates. This is why rate-cutting cycles carry significant importance. And here's the critical takeaway for 2026. We are no longer in a tightening cycle. We are in an easing cycle, which supports elevated asset prices. Now let me talk about money printing. The Federal Reserve has restarted balance sheet expansion. They're calling it reserve management, but at the end of the day, they're creating money. That's exactly what's happening. They're starting with $40 billion per month, and that began December 12th. The Federal Reserve will tell you this is technical, temporary, and not QE. But markets don't care what it's called. Markets care about impact. And the impact is that it injects liquidity into the financial system, which leads to higher asset prices. The chain is straightforward and consistent. And I'll say this clearly. This is not a one-time event. The system requires liquidity. The U.S. government runs massive deficits. Banks need reserves. Markets depend on stable funding conditions. Once the Federal Reserve opens that liquidity faucet, shutting it off quickly risks something else breaking. That's why liquidity cycles last longer than people expect, and balance sheet expansion happens in phases, not bursts. You also have to consider the US dollar. When rates fall and money supply grows, the dollar often weakens. That's because returns on dollars decline and purchasing power erodes. A weaker dollar pushes up prices for US stocks, gold, silver, precious metals, and commodities. Gold and silver prices rising doesn't mean their intrinsic value changed. You still own the same ounce. The price rises because the dollar weakens. That's all that's happening. This is why precious metals perform well during easing cycles. This is an ideology. It's basic mathematics. And it's no secret that the current administration doesn't want a strong dollar. A strong dollar hurts exports, tightens financial conditions, and slows economic growth. A moderately weaker dollar supports growth, manages debt loads, and eases financial conditions. Dollar weakness isn't accidental. It's a pressure release. Every investor must understand this. If markets fall sharply, the Federal Reserve will step in. We've seen this in 2008, 2020, and during banking stress events. That's the Fed put rate cuts, liquidity injections, emergency programs, and balance sheet expansion. Markets can fall, but major declines are met with policy support. The system is more liquidity sensitive than ever due to high debt levels and interconnected markets. Stress spreads faster, so responses must be faster and larger. Looking ahead, in May 2026, there will be a new Federal Reserve chair. New leadership usually means easier policy, not tighter. They'll want to stimulate markets and growth heading into midterm elections. So connect the dots: falling rates, rising liquidity, a weakening dollar, and a Fed ready to intervene. All benefit asset prices. Volatility will exist, but in liquidity-rich environments, dips get bought. So remember this: markets move on liquidity, not emotion. If this video helped you see the bigger picture, Backend Index Pointing Right, like this video. Backend Index Pointing Right, subscribe to the Money Explorers for more smart investing insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.